Aiden here from AKSB Fishing. Today we are at Grange Jetty targeting salmon trout. Hope you enjoy the video. The first things me and Sonny do before we come fishing is we check the tides, we check the winds, and we kind of estimate the water clarity from the winds and the rain that we've had recently. So today the tides are okay, they're not the best. The winds, they're perfect, there's dead glass you can see by the water. And the water clarity, we thought it was going to be much murkier than it is, but the water is still very murky. As you can see, the water is a bit murky, and you could barely see past probably 30 centimeters of water. Today guys, we're using two different rigs. One is a Panacosta rig with a size 8 hook and a 1 ounce sinker. And the other one is, we're using just a jig head, just plain jig head with a 1/16 of an ounce weight with a size 4 hook on it.
So the bait we're using today is pilchards, and before we put them on the rod, we want to fillet them and cut through the middle, just above the spine, all the way across. And our goal is to cut them into about 1 centimeter big little lines or squares that can just fit nicely onto our rod. And yeah, see this one, pretty good size, not too big, but you want to keep enough meat on it so that the fish will actually eat it, because if it's all skin, they'll hit it but they won't go for it because it doesn't taste very nice. Catch of the day, it's an Australian salmon trout, and the legal keeping size is 21 centimeters. So we're just going to measure him now. So as you can see, the tail goes to 23, so 2 centimeters over the size limit, so we can keep him. About 30 minutes to an hour since we caught our first fish, and we've caught about maybe 10 or 15 little ones, but they've all been undersized, and the bites are very finicky, so like normally salmon, they hit it big, but today not on.
So guys, one thing we've noticed today, the bites are really finicky for salmon trout. They're hitting it very slow, as if they're a whiting or a mullet, even though they are clearly salmon trout, because we see them actually coming up to the surface and looking at our bait, but they're just not biting, they're very finicky. We think that's because of the water and how murky it is, and they don't trust that it's actual bait. Oh.
It's a big one.
No, it's a little one here.
Little baby one. Interrupted Aiden's little educational talk there. But no, that's a maybe 18 centimeter salmon trout.
Yeah, this is a very little one. So this one's undersized. Do you know how to hook it?
Hit it pretty hard though, I'm not gonna lie.
So this is what salmon trout look like.
Oh, don't worry. Here's my little technique. Get him in your jacket. This one's pretty well behaved. Oh, he's spiky though.
And these are most of the ones that we've been catching today, little ones.
So you see, you unhook him and just chuck him back.
Straight off.
There you go.
This one, it's a new species. This is a silver whiting. These guys do not have size limit. They're a good eating fish, but because they're so small, they don't get too much. They get maybe up to there, not too much bigger than this. But these are good eating fish, so we'll be keeping this one.
Alright, so as you can see, we've now got 2 little silver whiting. That's that one there. He's still alive. The other ones have passed away, but at the moment it's a little bit dead. Like the salmon. There's a few of them around, but they're not biting too much, and when we do pull one up, most of them are undersized. However, we're hoping that all turns around a bit later in the day. So stay tuned.
Alright, so we just got this fish. It's like the first fish in like an hour and a half probably. And it measures in at 20 last time I messaged it. So this one's too small, so we're gonna chuck this one back.
Good work. Gonna have to measure him. We're not too sure if he's big enough. Oh, so as you see, over the 21 mark. That means he's a keeper. First keeper in about 2 hours, but hopefully it gets better. Do I kill this thing? No, I'll just chuck it in. Nothing. We've pulled up this little monster, but unfortunately he's like 20 and a half, and as previously stated, the size limit is 21, and we are responsible fishermen, so we're going to send him back to his home. I think he swallowed the hook, and it's cut off his gills, so he's bleeding a fair bit. That's pretty disgusting. Lunch break time.
This is our first fish after lunch. We'll see if it's big enough. I don't think it will be, but we'll see. Oh. No. It's just over 20, so this one's too small. So we'll chuck it back.
Good throw. Good on. Wow. First one in a while. Actually, not about 2 minutes, but my first one. Aiden caught in about 2 minutes ago. So we'll measure him. And see that? 22 centimeters, as previously stated. 21 is a minimum size, so that's the first keeper in a couple hours. So, we're packing up for the day, or we've already packed up. So this is our haul. That's two little silver whiting and 4 legal salmon, then plus maybe 30-ish small salmon across like the span of the day. But stay tuned, because another video coming out next week. I'll draw some crabbing and squidding. We're hoping to get some luck, and hit like and subscribe.